Android architect, and then we'll get started, okay?
Okay, sure.
All right, here we go. We'll make sure this works. Barack, Darren, do I have you both?
I'm still here.
Yes, I'm here.
Barack, are you there?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great. Okay, well, thanks for your time today. I want to spend the first part of the meeting. I'll talk a little bit about the role that we have, and then we'll go into your background from your resume and answer any questions that you have about the position.
Okay, sure.
So our position here is we have, this is over the Hilton, honors, iOS and Android apps, and we're talking today about Android specifically. So on the Android team, we have a small group focused on a specific part of the app that we call Welcome, which includes digital key, it includes digital check-in and digital check-out. And the role that we have open in our Dallas office is for an FDET. So this is someone that works very closely alongside the development team and writes automation cases, for the team as we move. And it's an agile process, 2 weeks Scrum, and you're basically working, like I said, side by side with the development team and figuring out what can be automated and writing the automation natively. So our automation that we do today is UI Automator. At some point in the future, we may be into Espresso, but right now it's UI Automator. Then there's some manual, of course, testing as well that goes along with it for things that can't be automated. The team size, for this particular team, it's going to start relatively small and it's going to grow in the future, but there's two iOS devs and one iOS SDET, and then there's, just like the same on Android, it's going to be 2 devs and 1 SDET on the Android side. And that's addition, of course, to a Scrum Master. You'll have a product owner, you'll have a solutions architect, and a creative lead as well that will be assigned to that team. So it's meant to be a small team that moves very, very quickly. So pretty dynamic, lots of changes, and you're going to have the opportunity to work and move fast, and sometimes build little proofs of concept, and sometimes sort of build things at scale that then go out into the production app. So a good mix of all of those things. So I'll pause there and open it up for any questions about the role or anything like that.
No. So I think I'm good as of now. I don't have any questions. So let's see how it goes, and then maybe I might have questions.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your background then, and go into maybe start with your most recent or relevant position. I think you're at General Motors today. So
yes, I'm at General Motors, and I'm working on their infotainment system. So on that system, I'm actually helping and integrating with the car systems, and also using various kinds of content providers, and integrating with how the car can actually talk to the various Android systems, and showing the speed as well as the car fuel information and all those things from the various sensors on the Android. And apart from that, we are also integrating with the General Motors cloud and sending all the information to the centralized servers, so that we can actually have this captured in the central servers of the General Motors. And apart from that, we are also doing the migrations of the old cars to the new platform, which is the infotainment General Electric platform, I would like to say. And then apart from that, we are also having some of the new car management systems which are supported by the Android application on the phone. So that is also one of the things which I'm actually working on here, I would like to say.
All the vehicle analytics, like a car fuel information and various and related stuff. So it's like a center thing that captures all the data in the vehicle. That is one project. Coming to the other project, we have also done the personalization app. Currently, the infotainment vehicles in GM has a personalization app in the vehicle. So now we move that application to the user mobile app. So user can log in and it can make the preferences like a seat setting or a mirror settings or a radio settings. So everything can be done in the user mobile. So they don't need to go to a vehicle and they don't need to start. So for this also, we have used various type of Android related stuff. So this is a major second project that I worked. So I have involved this one from scratch. So it's almost completely to the end. So the third one, coming to the third one, have been working with the vehicle data architecture, which
and
involves
also
like writing a
sending
Python
this
script in
on
the
the
vehicle itself.
runtime to the
So
mobile
for
of the
that,
user, and
it's
then
in the process of
controlling the
running.
cars and using the
So this is
engine
pretty much have done over
disengager
the
for this, I
GM.
would like to say.
Okay. It was hard to catch some of that. Are you writing native testing today? Is that part of your role?
Yes, I'm writing the native testing in the Android for the testing of the Android platform and automating the user
how would you rate
interface
yourself
tests.
in a couple of places? And this is really just a 1 to 10 sort of scale, with 10 being expert. How would you rate yourself in Java?
So in Java, I'm pretty much comfortable, and I can rate myself as 8.
How about Kotlin? Have you had any Kotlin exposure?
I have been having Kotlin exposure, and we have been recently writing the functional programming in the Kotlin, and we have been using the Kotlin for the various kinds of proof of concept and migrating some of the existing code for speed and for easy development.
We have started doing that one. Various kinds of proof of concepts.
Okay. What are you using? Go ahead, Ben.
Sorry, I didn't catch how you would rate yourself in Kotlin. What was the number you would assign?
Maybe 7 out of 10.
Okay.
So
Darren, go ahead.
So for your testing, what do you use? What's your favorite tool when you write your tests?
So basically,
what do you say? Hey, if I had to fall back after going to use one tool, what would that be?
Yeah, so basically, if I want to do the Android testing, I will be using the...
So basically, if I want to do the Android testing, I will be using Appium and what we call Robotium also, and Espresso.
Okay, Okay. So of those three, if you had to select one, are you an Appium fan, or a Robotium fan, or you prefer Espresso?
Appium. I'm Appium fan.
Appium? Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what you have the most experience with. Okay, fair enough. And what about unit testing? Are you familiar with?
So basically, I would like to say that I've been doing the unit testing for the application.
Yes, I've been doing the unit testing for the applications and also JUnit. Writing in Java.
JUnit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Good. What kind of code coverage do you typically get out of that? Do you
basically,
run code coverage to see what
so basically we are running the code coverage inside the Android application, and we have the unified code coverage, and I am using various kinds of tools in the Android Studio for that.
Unified code coverage, and I'm also using various kinds of tools in the Android Studio for that.
Okay. So what kind of coverage are you all getting? What kind of, what's your goal? Do you have a goal, or just curious?
Yeah, 99% is a goal.
Where are you at?
Currently I'm 65.
So that's pretty high. Just curious. So do you have any experience with other tools, or just primarily, Appium, Robotium, and Espresso?
So basically, I would like to say that I've also got some of the other tools, and I have been working on
Homebase. So it's an enterprise application which consists of more than 200 screens, 300 plus screens. So we use the Robotium to automate the screen. So tester or somebody can automatically go to the 100th screen or whatever they want. So we use that one.
Okay, fair enough. Do you I heard Espresso too? Where do you use your Espresso versus
Appium? I would like to say that I have been using
the other.
Android Espresso tests for the various kinds of writing unit
Android
user interface tests, and I have been using various kinds of user interface testing using the Espresso, and I have been writing tests which will check the IDs and perform the typing of the text, and then apart from that, we will be also having the various testing of the intent and multiple processes, and also the accessibility checking inside the Android.
Apart from that, there will be also having the various kinds of
so we will be also testing and setting up the Espresso for the window animation scale and the transition animation scale, as well as the
checking inside the Android. So we will be also testing and setting up the for the window animation scale and the transmission animation scale as well.
Okay. Ben?
No, you can keep going if you've got other questions.
Okay. So for like the first one, you said you had a couple different projects you're on. The one you're most familiar with. Give me an example of a test case that was difficult for you to automate and what you did to get around that.
Yes, so basically I would like to say that so basically I would like to say that there were some of the test case issues I would like to say.
So basically,
and one of them which was very interesting was that if you have like a lot of mobile users, and how will you actually check whether the screen is responding, and about the device fragmentation. So how are we going to check each and every device, because in Android space there are a lot of devices which are there in the market, and how are you going to automate and run the test cases on each of the devices which are going to be there on the platform and the market. So this is one of them, and then apart from that, also one of the other things was native as well as the hybrid testing for the web application or the web flows inside the application was one of the other challenges. And then going ahead
as well, like a hybrid
having
testing
various
for the web
testing interfaces for mobile emulators and simulators which are there, and limited scope inside the real world versus the
they have also
simulator
having
testing.
various testing interfaces for mobile emulators and simulators which are there and have a limited scope inside the real world versus the simulator testing.
Okay. For something like that, you didn't like think, okay, well, Espresso, I don't care where it's at on the screen. I've got access to that, widget. I can just, press it using Espresso. You didn't think that route would work? Is there a reason why that wouldn't have worked for you there?
So basically, I would like to say that there were a lot of challenges in the Espresso.
I can say that there is a lot
so
of
sometimes,
challenges.
we had issues with detecting the single ID of the fragment, and then apart from that, sometimes user interface testing with the Espresso was a challenge where we wanted to verify the test results and then perform specific actions on those test results. So we had to use this report as a Espresso user interface recorder and provide the permissions to the recorder automatically, and then configuring the activity under the test and running the Espresso tests and checking for a toast inside that. So I would like to say definitely Espresso has its own set of problems which I have been facing and have been resolving.
So we can definitely say that the Espresso have its own set of problems which have been facing and resolving.
Okay, fair enough. Ben, anything?
Just more of a general question. So how is the working relationship on your current team between you and the developers?
I would like to say that we have an amazing working relationship with the developers, and we interact with them on a daily basis.
So we usually have an amazing working relationship with the developers, and we also interact.
We are also having various kinds of
on daily basis. We give the input and the feedback for the various stuff, and apart from that, we're also having various kinds of relationships, and we're also having the daily stand-up meetings, Scrum meeting, and the sprint planning.
And we will be also going with the lunch on the developers.
So it's similar to what we're describing our position, right? So you're working side by side with them. It's not as if a lot of development's done for a few weeks and then they hand it off to you for.
No.
Do you typically deliver your automated tests when they deliver their code? How does that work?
So basically, I would like to say that they will be actually delivering the
Are you already
cases,
working on those
and we will be
integrating before he delivers all his code to you, or you waiting till he delivers it and then writing them up and following Jenkins, delivering them? How do you typically work with that?
Okay. So they will be actually delivering the test cases, and we will be integrating with the various codes. And then we will be integrating with the pipeline inside the Jenkins, and then after that we will be validating those
tests
in the case.
Whatever
and then
we have,
apart from that, I would like to say that
we
will be also trying to make sure that whatever we have
whatever we release to the various
deployment
machines,
or
we are
that
doing
test
it in the real time,
apart
and
from that,
we will
also
be
make
integrating with the
sure that
microservices,
whether
because
we
they
release
will be
the various
developing the
machines we are
application
doing
on
in the
the
real time, and we will be
runtime, and we will have to
integrating
kind
with
of
the
integrate with the
microservices
API
because
and call the
they will be
API there,
developing the
so that
application
the
on the
API
runtime.
can actually
And
give us the
we also
various
have
kinds of
to
inputs
kind
in
of
this case.
integrating with the API and call the API so that API can actually give the various
So we
kinds
have to
of
test with
input
the
in this
API
thing.
and make sure that it is responding to the
So
screens.
we have to test with the API and make sure whether it is responding to the screens correctly or not.
Okay. So as far as actual delivery in the sprint, the developer, it's delivered, QA tested. Are the automated tests all written by then?
So I would like to say that for the
like other things are all
API,
intern,
the developer
so
and the other teams
back
are going to
like in
write
a
the
second
test cases,
cycle
especially
and
the quality
finish your
analysis
automated
team,
tests, or they
because they are
do
also
when
responsible
that
for writing the
code, before
test
that code
cases,
can be delivered.
and they are the
I'm
ones
just
who will
curious
be
how you
actually
operate it.
writing the
So
test
basically,
cases
other
for
teams are going to
the
write the
application,
test
and apart
cases,
from that,
especially
we will
the
also
quality test case,
integrate
because they're also
with
responsible
some
for
of
writing the
those
test
APIs
cases,
and try to
and they are the
validate the
one who
test
will
so
be
that we
actually
can
writing the
find out
test
whether
cases
this
for
is
the
actually
application.
the right
And apart
validation
from
of the
that,
test
we
or
will
not.
also integrate with some of those APIs and then try to validate the test so that we can find out whether this is actually the right validation of the test or not.
I understood. But what I'm saying, actually physical delivery of all your automated tests, is that done before that code can be delivered? Or is that code delivered and then you finish things in a later sprint? I'm just curious.
Definitely, I would like to say that we will be trying to resolve the test cases issue before the completion of the sprint.
So we will
but if at all we cannot do that in some cases, then definitely we will be going ahead and trying to do that as a backlog item
but
in the next
do that
sprint, I would like to say.
We'll going ahead and we'll try to do that in the backlog items in the next sprint.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Ben, you have anything?
Yeah, what are your expectations for the next, say, 2 years, 3 years?
So basically, I want to explore the new and the latest APIs of the Android platform, and then apart from that, I also have got very much interested in going to the Google conference next year and then trying to become a team lead as soon as possible, and then lead a team of Android developers. I would like to say.
Platform. Apart from that, I got very much interested in doing the like a test and everything, like leading a team or maybe developing and as well as a testing also. I'm pretty much comfortable on everything.
Okay, so it sounds like you want to stay technical and stay in the Android ecosystem.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Any experience testing with Bluetooth technologies?
Yes, I have been testing various Bluetooth devices
yes,
of the Bluetooth, and we have been testing various headsets and some of the receivers, and we have been using the Bluetooth library in the Android for talking to various kinds of Bluetooth devices and then testing and validating the response of those. And we have been specifically using the permissions inside the Bluetooth, and I have been writing some of the Kotlin code for the Bluetooth class service audio loudspeaker and checking whether the ensured profiles are activated when we are pairing with the remote device on the Bluetooth.
How do you test with Bluetooth? How do you set up your automated test with Bluetooth?
So basically, for that we have to have the device connected to the Bluetooth device, and we will be having a simulation of the connection of the device by manually causing the interrupts of the device. So we have a special device for the hardware. So let's say we are testing for a car, so we will be doing this on the platform, and we will be having the API for the car infotainment system, which will send the various signals to the device, and then we will be simulating that. In that case, I would like to say,
which will send the various signals to the device, and then we will be simulating in that case.
Okay. So you don't, right. Fair enough. Anything else, Ben?
No, I can't think of anything else at this time. Do you have other questions, Darren, or we want to kind of open it up for?
I want to know
I'm
like
good,
what is the
but,
team size and what is the day-to-day activities and what is the next steps from here.
Yeah, open it up to you, Bharat. What questions do you have for us?
I think you told me pretty much what is the team size and what are all the day-to-day activities. But I just want to check what is the next steps from after the from here. What is the next step from here in the interview process?
Yeah, so sorry, the first part I missed. You're saying you have a question about the day-to-day activities, or you don't?
Yeah, I just want to know what are all the day-to-day activities and what are the next steps from here.
Okay. Yeah, day-to-day activities. Darren, you can take that one if you want.
Sure. So, like Ben was saying, you're actually working with developers.
Okay.
Testing. There'll be some manual involved initially, and then the automated test as well. Now, the way we do it traditionally is not like a test first where you would rate the UI test. That's why I asked you, hey, when do you deliver? That's why I was curious if you did them like maybe a sprint later for the automated. It kind of varies, right? The goal is, of course, to have that all done, but oftentimes we do roll over the the automated test till after the fact. So you'd be working with developers. Some manual initially, as you find bugs, submit them, via Jira, work with the developers to get those things resolved. And then as they're doing that, you can write your automated tests, to validate what you found. So everything you ever find manually, hopefully you automate it. So there's, it's both, manual and actual, automated testing involved. We will be using Bluetooth devices, so you actually need physical devices, for the Bluetooth. That's why I asked you about that. That would come in handy. We have, digital keys. I don't know if you're ever been to Hilton where we have the digital key ability to actually use your phone to unlock your door. So we have these, locks that are, Bluetooth-enabled locks, that those sorts of things you'd be dealing with. So you would maybe go out and be provisioning these things to set up all this, the testing that you need to have done before you need to get to it. Because, sometimes it can be a challenge to get everything set up just right, things, down here and there and whatnot. So you have to be very flexible, in timing of things and think ahead. But, mostly day-to-day, just working with the developers, testing, writing automated tests, attending, daily Scrum, of course. Then we also would also be involved with the actual grooming, putting estimates on all these things. Hey, how much time do you think it's going to take you to test this? Write the automated test for this, that sort of thing.
Okay, I'm good with that. Mm-hmm.
It's a good environment for what it's worth. It really is.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So, and I have one more question. So what is the next step from here in the interview process?
Yeah, sure. So next steps-wise, we have a few candidates that we are evaluating. We're trying to get at least our first round of evaluations done this week before the holidays, because a lot of people are going to be out of the office until the beginning of the year. So you may not hear much for the next week or so, unfortunately. But you can certainly check back with your agency, which is TechSystem. And they may have updates for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and since you're in Michigan, it would be difficult to basically meet with you in person. So what we may do as a next step is we do have a follow-on interview that's a little bit more technical that we have another area of my team perform. So you may hear from them as well. So that's possible also.
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. I will do that.
Do you have any time frames on your side that you are trying to work towards?
No, I'm good with anything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay then.
All right. Any more questions?
No, I'm good. Thanks for your time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, thank you for your time today, Bharat. I really appreciate it.
No, I don't.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.